great thing about art and art school is that it refuses to be contained. My name is Johnny Golding. I am professor of philosophy and fine art, and I'm research professor, and what that means is that I'm mainly dealing with the PhD students, and I have a sub-link to the MA students in contemporary art. My practice as a philosopher is something I backed into. It was so critical to have an empathetic relationship to people because it's what makes the world a better place. So the making of sense and how does sense get made is done by showing people how does this happen. All my work is driven by curiosity, experimentation, and the right to have freedom of speech. That helped me really understand what it was to be thinking about philosophy. It was never a model. It was never a theory. It was an inhabited way of understanding the world. Datalome is a project that was invented by Martin Reinhardt, and we came together to produce this mad rethink of how information gets gathered and how it gets archived, how one uses the proliferation of information to create knowledge systems. The ways in which the research group, entanglement, or the radical matter operate at the RCA all feed into this research project, but the research project feeds into these groups as well. I don't think that one can separate teaching from research, nor should one. Radical matter was something that I began to develop many years ago, from 1997 onward when I was at the Jan van Eyck. Radical because one needed to be thinking at the core of how things are put together. One needed to have a sense of how methods operate. And so all the courses that I do for the MA establish first what is this thing called a dialectic, what is it about this thing called quantum physics, how does that play together, and then how does this have anything to do with photography, literature, sculpture, painting, software development, and so on. At the RCA, I would put on an event for entanglement. The first year, it was called Entanglement, the Carnival. I wanted people to start thinking about entanglement in a very different way than, is it mathematics, is it artificial, is it robotics? So we called it the Carnival, and we invited Amir George, a filmmaker from Chicago, and he works in Black Lives Matter. The work he was doing was showing how different forms of thought become pictures, and the pictures of those thoughts become tools of revolution. What I hope I do in teaching is getting people a sense of how to be kind and intelligent. In fact, my view is that the more intelligent one is, the more one is able to go in the world without putting people down. And I like to share that with people. And also, I get a lot of energy and knowledge and logic systems from my students. If it's not a two-way street, you're doing something wrong. I am very political, and I'm very engaged with making the world a better place, and that takes work. That takes rigor, it takes commitment and dedication, and I expect that out of the students, and they expect it out of me.